Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Good to see you all out there. Got Alaska One Andy jumping in there. We do not do it. We did not post this or send any emails out, and kind of did it at the last minute. But we thank you for joining us. We got Hasbro over here. How you doing, Hasbro?
Hey, doing good. Glad to see you, and glad to see Alaska Andy's on there tonight with us too.
Yeah.
That's a long way away.
We're going to talk about maybe some builds. Hasbro's got a subject he's going to cover. Kind of winging it, but hey, usually, like I was telling him earlier, we usually try to get emails out, posted on the community tab.
Hey, there's Brutal Bob too.
Hey, Bob. How you doing, man? Good to see you. But now, what were you wanting to talk about? What you got coming up on that carbine, or what was it you
Yeah,
were
a couple
saying?
things. We'll talk about that thing later.
Okay.
But I've been kind of wanting to do a pistol caliber carbine for a while. I shot a friend's who built, one a 9 millimeter, and he built an ultralight kind of build, and I want to go a little different route. So I found a good deal at B King's Firearms in Ohio on one of these Aero Precision matched AR9 sets. It takes Glock mags. So I got a really good deal. So I can pass it up. So I ordered that upper and lower receiver set. So
Cool.
now I'm sort of in the hunt for barrels. And kind of what I want to do, it's different than most people, and so maybe it'll be interesting, maybe it won't. We'll find out. Is I want to see how accurate I can make that gun as a rifle. Then I'll switch it out and put a red dot on it and shoot steel and things like that, which is really more what a lot of people do with them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll put a really good scope on it. I'll put in one of my LaRue in between triggers, target type triggers for that thing, and just see how good I can get a 9 millimeter shoot out of it. But at 100 yards, right? We're not. I'll start at 25 and 50, but I want to see what a true MOA it's going to give me. And from what I've been reading, people are real happy with 4-inch groups. Yeah, I'll be really not happy with 4-inch groups. So we'll see. And maybe that's all I should expect, but I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
my search, and for you, for anybody else knows out there, I'm trying to find out what is absolutely the best barrel for pure accuracy. So taking a
Mm-hmm.
9 millimeter almost to like a bench rest approach.
Mm-hmm.
What can I get in an AR platform? But what's the best barrel I can get? Purely for
Let's get
accuracy. I don't care
let's
about
get your
weight.
let's get
You know,
sorry. Let's get your volume up a little bit, Hasbro. Sorry to interrupt you.
is mine down?
It sounds low to me.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
can
See if
get
you
it
can
higher or not.
not as clear as you.
Is that any better?
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay,
Sorry.
I just turned it up a bit. But yeah, so I really want to find what is the most accurate barrel, and I'll figure that out and pay for it. I don't want to overpay, but I don't want to under either. And in a 16-inch barrel, so I'm just start long and work it. I'm not going to work on SBRing it or anything. I just want a
Mm-hmm.
9 millimeter 16-inch carbine and see absolutely what's the best that kind of platform can do. And then like I
Mm-hmm.
say, I'll put a red dot on it and start having sort of normal pistol caliber carbine fun, USPSA and things like that kind of shooting.
It's gonna be fun. Me, I'm gonna work on a Grendel. Uh, I was looking. Armin Alley sent me a thing, an email this evening, and a sale. You can get the upper. See the upper receiver, the M4E. You get the R. Is it S1 receiver, which it doesn't have the Picatinny all the way down. $241, I think. So that's not too bad. The
No,
receivers
it's not
typically
bad.
the receivers are 90 to 100 something typically. 80 if you
Yeah.
get it on sale. And this is Aero Precision. I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, that's good for arrow.
Yeah, they got it right now on sale at Armin Alley. I've bought things from them. Actually, I bought a gun from them a
I
few
bought
years ago.
several from them. They're a good solid company.
Hmm. And I did grab a gun, I think, too, once, a long time
In
ago.
fact, you reminded me I hadn't looked at them, and I'm looking at their site about this AR9 barrel. See what they have.
Mhm. Ever since you told me you got a Grendel with that Bill Wilson barrel and the accuracy you're getting, I want a
Yep.
Bill Wilson barrel. now.
It's something else. They're good. You pay for them, but
Hmm.
they are really works of art too. Not just accuracy wise, but they're they're steel finish. They're bead blasting. They're fluting. It's just you almost don't want to use it. It's so nice looking, but I use them.
Hmm.
You talk about upper and lowers on that one. That one is an upper and lower that I bought from that B Kings. It was their own brand, which I'm sure is just some generic brand. They repackage it a little bit, whatever. But I
Hmm.
bought them as bare metal, coated them, camouflaged them in a snakeskin desert camo thing, and then got the really good barrel, really good trigger, and really good bolt. So
Hmm. That I asked you this before. That barrel's not heavy, right? The one you got on
no,
that Grendel.
the one I got is 22 inches long and it's not heavy.
Wow.
Now, if I was doing it again, I'd buy an 18 or 20. They just didn't
Hmm.
have them in stock at the time, but they did have the 22. So, I
Hmm.
was impatient, couldn't wait.
Right. Hmm. That's a
But I
nice
can tell you
barrel.
too that Faxon, they got two different levels. They got like a gunner, and then they have a heavier profile one. The
Hmm.
gunner is nicer, it's lightweight, and the heavier profile is better if you're going to shoot a lot of rounds in a row, like I do bench rest shooting.
Hmm.
But they're also really good. But yeah, so far the top I found is that Wilson. I would not recommend a BCA barrel. That's the
Well,
first half of my Grendel videos is trying to make a $90 barrel shoot. And in the
right.
end, I really couldn't. I got it down close to an MOA, but
Hmm.
I've got the Grendel down to 0.35 with the Wilson barrel.
What's that
MOA
Wilson barrel running? I looked at it the other
5.5.
week. About 300
Uh,
plus, I think.
about 320 ish, maybe. Last time I looked.
Okay, it's high.
Sometimes you'll get a little sale, but they don't do a lot of sales at
Okay.
Wilson Combat.
I may go with that barrel on my Grendel build. Yeah, guys, stay tuned. I'm gonna do got some. I mentioned the other week some changes coming. We're gonna got actually some big changes coming. We may end up. I can't build live, and I can't build video, but I can build and you know edit the video to where you can still see what I've done and what it becomes. And I'm gonna go to the range and probably go ahead and get that Sony or some camera and maybe even a GoPro too on top of it, and do some
Yeah.
range videos because it's going to be from the bench. Some things going to be like ammo from the bench to the range. And the range is only 25 minutes from here, so it's not that far. And they got steel too, so that'll be kind of fun. I'm anxious to get out there and try that. But we're going to take the gun and go to the range, and if it malfunctions, you're going to see it. I'm going to do video of it, and then we'll analyze it and find out what happened to it or whatever. So it'll be real, real time. Not real time, but real. I'm not going to, go out there and edit it down to where it's absolutely perfect. So I'm anxious to kind of do that. I've been wanting to do that for quite a few years on YouTube. I just haven't. I've got the software to edit. I do edit a little bit. I mean, I know the basics. I just don't like it. It's
Right.
a lot of trouble. And
I'm gonna here, AR. You can pick
mm-hmm,
this up. Anybody else is interested? That's the link to the Grendel barrels, and they have for
okay,
250 is a 16 inch, and it goes all the way up to and there's Recon is a lightweight profile. That's their 18 and 20-inch ones,
mm-hmm,
and then the Super Sniper, the long one that I got. It's a
super
different
sniper.
profile, just a little bigger. But
Mm,
anyway, so it gives you something to look at there. But they're about 305 for the expensive one, 290 ish, 285 for the 18 and 20s.
let me go on the other
Not cheap,
side.
but you pay for that quality barrel.
Mm-hmm.
You pay a little. I'm sure you pay a little for the name too, of course. But
They know what I've been doing. I pop on YouTube and you boob, and guess what comes up? The Midwest AR reaction rod I've been looking
ah,
for. And that thing was
yeah,
69 back in the Black Friday here a while back. That thing was $69, and I could kick my you know what for not getting it back then.
yeah,
And I do know one guy on YouTube. I don't know him, but he had a review on it that it was not lined up properly. Well, it was just got through quality control. And but I think School of the American Rifleman, which is he uses another name now, even though it's his basic channel. He uses them, It's got
I
that
know that channel.
sail
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, little it lodges in your upper receiver. I want to get that thing. I know Echo's got. Well, he's got everything: reaction rods, probably the clamshells, everything, blocks. I may get. I've been looking at Real Avid too lately. I like that. I'm pondering either the Wheeler square block or the Real Avid square block to build. But
Right.
hang on, let me get to my channel over there.
Looks like I might have to turn my high dollar Starlink option on because it's just making a little funny sound for me on upload.
My audio finally cleared up. I didn't know what it was. Apparently, it's a software bug. Software's been so buggy lately with Windows. I haven't been able to use Microsoft Edge now for almost a month. It freezes constantly, and yeah, I have virus. Norton updated, at least once a day manually. It's just what it is. Somehow they've did some updates and they've messed up their own browser. Can't even use it. I can get on it and look at it. Once I do that, it's just frozen. It's done.
Right.
So, anyway, hang on. There we go. My channel.
All right. That takes a couple minutes and that'll speed me up.
Let's see. You may hear it. Let me mute my.
Yeah, you're
There we
muted
go.
now. Oh, now you're back.
Check out the side chat just for a second here. Bristol Bob says, I found a local man who makes barrels in his garage. Oh, wow. They are a work of art. Nalia was shooting her Grendel last week from the bench, 20 yards at 200 yards, 1.09. Not bad for a girl, LOL. Yeah, pretty good shooting. Mm-hmm. Let me go chat here and call a few of you guys out before we get carried away here and start talking about topics. Got Alaska One Andy jumped in there. Hasbro here in the panel. Appreciate you being here, Hasbro. MSB 9021's with us. GGW Outdoors, Michael Hurtnick, Dale Pogue has joined us. Good to see you guys. Who else here? Make sure. I think I got it. Yeah, like I say, I wasn't originally wasn't even going to stream tonight. And I thought, well, I'm going to get on there and talk a little bit, talk some topics. We'll come up with something. And Hasbro has some topics, and I'm going to be doing some builds.
Brutal Bob, not bad for a girl.
Yeah.
A lot of trouble.
But we appreciate you guys being here for us. And yeah, I'm gonna really, most likely when Echo gets here, I'm gonna probably go ahead and get. I don't know if I want the Sony. That's the thing, because you can't change lenses. I'm kind of torn on it. But I'm either gonna get that Sony, and I may get an older model GoPro for the range,
Yeah.
or get a generic like you got. 4K generic for the target.
Right. Maybe one day I'll do a show on the cameras. I've got a GoPro and I've got this a Daska. It's on Amazon. It's a little GoPro, and the picture isn't bad. Now I just use it. That's the one I put down range because it's like a $65 camera instead of a $350 or $400 camera. Hey, there's my daughter, Lauren Davis, Perry, Georgia.
Howdy. I'm here, Georgia, here too. Yeah, I actually watched one of your videos. That camera, it looked pretty good on the target. Mm-hmm. MCK joined us. Your daughter joined us. Thank you for being here. And what state did you say you're in, Hasbro?
I'm in Indiana.
Okay.
And she's a Georgia girl now.
Where are you from originally?
Indiana.
Indiana? Okay.
Up near Muncie, Indiana.
My mother had a friend when I was a kid that they lived in the South. They ended up moving to Indiana. We lost contact with her and her daughter. I used to play. I think I was probably 6 years old, and her daughter was probably 3 or 4. I can't remember now. Been so many years, and we'd all get together and do cookout and things. But
GGW, he saw my Mr. Bill in the background.
Yep. It's going to be fun.
How many people in the chat know anything about Mr. Bill? Let's see if anybody knows him. GGW does, that's for sure.
Throw a thumbs up, guys, if you know this thing. I don't.
Yeah.
In the 80s and 90s, I didn't watch any TV. I worked nights. And, plus, I went through being single, so I kind of got out of TV there for a long time. He says, main man. Okay.
There we go. That's a little better view there. Yeah, so Mock knows it here too. So this is from Saturday Night Live in the heydays of Saturday Night Live, and they would send this guy around and do all kinds of stunts, and he'd always end up being like mayhem on the commercials now, right? Or he'd be just getting torn up and dismembered and whatever. And every show was always they'd be running him all around the show, and at the end he'd always get like destroyed and killed. And then he'd be back the next show. It's just something they did in the background of other stuff. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have some fun with him on the channel. And put him underneath some soda cans or Bud Light cans or whatever. You know, I don't drink, but you never know what I'll put underneath this guy and shoot him and send him flying at the end of a range session. Every range session, I'll do it to him. And then we'll put him under some tannerite. We'll see what happens to him there and see how high he flies. We'll just have a lot of fun with this thing. See how long he'd last. I may have to buy more of them. They're kind of hard to find, but I found a few.
Let's see. Bubba just texted me.
I might just put him on top of the target too.
Cool, Bubba. He's got his dies in here. He got to send me a picture. A pistol die deluxe. Can't beat that die set. Like I said, the only thing I would personally upgrade, and yeah, that's individual preference, would be the expander. I just not that fond of it personally. I thought about that after I said, I hope I didn't offend someone, but I just don't. That's my personal opinion on it. I just don't really kind of warm to it that well. What's Bob got going here? It says, we're flying down to Indy next week. A couple of pilots and wives, a great dinner planned at St. Elmo's.
Sorry, I better mute this. I'm going to open him up and get him out.
Yeah, I almost bought some. I'm thinking about getting probably the Real Avid square block for ARs. It does a lot of things. Do I really need it? Probably not, because there's a lot of things I can rig up. I'm going to get some material and for my vise, and I'm going to take a piece of square wood and cut like a horseshoe in it, a square box, and I'm going to insert it on my vise to be able to do certain things on the vise where wood won't scar it up. And I could buy, aluminum and plastic magnetic things for the vise, but I'm not going to buy those. I'm just going to come up with one with some kind of MDF, either that or some kind of wood. Who knows?
Right.
Make a vise insert. But,
yeah, GDW knows it.
I didn't know this when I first got this one. This is actually supposedly magnetized. These outer on the Real Avid. So that's kind of, because if you drop a pin, it's easier to apparently not knock it off your bench. Their square one, you flip it over and it actually has holders to put your pins while you're doing your build. And it tells you the size of the pin. So that would help you as you're learning, stick the pin in, whatever pin in that size and that size. I didn't know that till yesterday when I was researching it. It's about $35 local, I think. It was about 32 before COVID. And I'm thinking about getting that one, and maybe a couple of Geisley front sight punches, and then a clamshell, and then a rod, and I'm done. I got everything, I think, at that point. Yeah, everything. I won't need anything else. And I guess I could tell everybody, that he's coming here, couldn't I? So they would know. Echo's going to be, as far as I know, Echo's going to be moving here, guys, in a few weeks. So I don't know if it's going to be the end of the month, first of the month, or probably 18th of next month for sure.
I think it's awesome. He needs to get out, and it'll be a good environment for him to be with.
Mm-hmm. I've told him that a long time ago. We got National Forest nearby. It's not that far. Got a range about 25, 30, maybe 30 minutes, but speed limit's not that fast to the town. Got a outdoor range for the state. They did steel. We got WMA. We got 30-something thousand acres here, about less than an hour drive, probably 40-minute drive from here, to be honest. That's not that far. So a lot of camping. I mean, there's things to do here in this area. I'm kind of lucky to be here. I just don't go a lot because I it's just basically me. I did take my great grandson camping once, and I'm gonna take him again. So let's see what GG AR guns. I have that one, and it does have a Mac. Yeah, okay. Thought I lost the pin once, but found it 20 minutes later. Still, wow. Oh, you got the square block then. How do you like that block, GGW? I do have, this one. I think I only gave 10, $11 for it. But considering it's, not solid, it's pretty strong plastic. I ain't kidding you. And I didn't even know when I first got it that it had a bushing, for 1911. Until about a week or so, I looked at it and I said,
really useful. What one did you get, AR, you said?
I got this one. I've had this for quite a while. I'm getting a square $35 block.
AR build block. I picked up the Wheeler one, which has been useful, but I think that one's better because it's softer.
So this is hollow.
This is hard.
Mm-hmm. This is a very hard plastic on here. You can tell it. I don't know. I don't have a hammer. Well, I do. I got gunsmith. Actually, I reorganized. My granddaughter gave me a ammo can, so I've got all my build tools in the AR can right now, and some of my greases, lithium, and you name it. I got it in there, and I got my silver anti-seize over there in the filing cabinet. I'm probably going to use that instead of AeroShell because I hear it works. As long as it's not copper. Copper don't work with aluminum, they say. Don't use it. It does something, corrosion or something. So I have that. I may eventually get AeroShell. I pondered and I may do it, start bottling AeroShell and selling it. And just mailing it out, and selling it for like whatever it costs. I forget what it is now, $8 an ounce, something like that, plus shipping. I may get some of that. I got something coming that I'm going to be manufacturing. I hadn't mentioned that in a long time. I was actually mentioning it to Echo this evening. I said, remember what I talked about a long time ago? I says, I got the stuff now to do it. I bought some equipment here a while back at a cheap discount. So anyway, enough of that. But yeah, I want to get into building. I want to get that Grendel. I want when I go deer hunting, I want a good gun that'll really smack them. I don't really I will go hunting with a 223 soft point, 55 grain, but I prefer to have something like a Grendel, at least, at the minimum. GDW says the block that is. Yeah, he said he smacked it hard. Okay. Yeah, it seems, they seem like most of their products are fairly solid. If you look at them, you wouldn't think so, maybe, because they seem to be. They definitely designed it to be eye catching. That's something I noticed about Real Avid. They put the color in it and the little details of their stuff. So, for the money, not too bad. I was on their site for quite a while, but I definitely want that block, I think. And I definitely want the Midwest Industries reaction rod. That thing is just, for the money, basically $94, I think, plus shipping $5. I can get that thing. Hey, good evening, Rebel. Good to see you. Viejo joined us. GGW's with MCK joined us. Appreciate you guys jumping in. But like I said, I'm going to get some camera coming in, some lights, and I'm going to get some video. We're going to do some range videos, and Echo will be there too at the range. And apparently I'll be editing quite a bit, which I've got to accept. To do a good video, you really got to edit. You can't just. I went out there a few years ago and just set my tripod up and put my Canon up. Forgot about it, and my battery went dead. It sat there and recorded all that time, and I totally forgot about it. I didn't even keep any of the footage. It was nothing up close. It was nothing really I could work with. So what else you got going, Hasbro, besides that carbine, 9mm carbine? You gonna build it, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm just got the upper and lower. Then I'm gonna start looking for, you got to get a special bolt for its blowback, and then a special barrel for it. A special barrel. It's just 9mm AR barrel with no gas port. But they do have sort of funny feed ramps to put on the back side of them, and so make sure they feed reliable. So got to kind of watch that. But I'm just sort of researching that. Like saying, any of y'all in the chat that have experience with that, I'm trying to get really, really top end accuracy. So I'm trying to find a really good barrel and recommendations for that. I can go Wilson Combat; they have them,
Mhm.
but I'm just kind of seeing what's out there right now.
What upper and lower are you using? What brand to
It's
do
an
it?
Aero Precision. Um,
Mhm.
I think they call them EPCs. It's their
Mhm.
enhanced pistol caliber carbine match set. So it's
Mm.
like the what do they call them, M4E. What is it they call their other one? Anyway, their
Mm.
normal receivers, they have lots of nice features, like the threaded bolt catch and just all kinds of little things that are done for you.
Yeah, it's the M4E enhanced. Yeah.
That's it, M4E1,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I love them. And they have the one-piece trigger guard. You don't have to drive those pins in, all that stuff. So that's what it is. It's that, but made specifically with a Glock mag, designed for the magwell, and
Hmm.
designed for 9 mm or pistol caliber carbines. I think I'm going to build it 9 mm, but you can build it 40 cal, 10 mil, and 45 ACP, and
Hmm.
I load for all those. So, but I think I'm going to do 9 mm. It's just cheaper to shoot.
Here's the thing that Hasbro's talking about. And a lot of manufacturers don't have this. Hang on, wrong one. Sorry about that. I don't know if y'all guys can see it because this camera's not that good. See that little silver right there on the boat catch? It's threaded right there. Matter of fact, I don't even know where the serial. Better be careful. But you can't beat Arrow. Arrow. I was talking about this other week. That
That is an awesome part of the design.
this is the one with the guardrail comes with it. So I'd like to get one without it too, a receiver eventually. But the thing I've researched about these is, and Mega did it, Rainier Arms did it, and Arrow does it. They say they use a better dye, a higher quality dye when they do these. And
When
what
they
is it?
forge it,
This is almost slick. The metal. It's just the finish is just perfect. Now you pull out, and I'm not knocking it. It's just different. You pull out an Anderson, and it's kind of a phosphate chalky, not chalky, but a dry feel. You know what I'm talking about? So it's different,
yep,
and the finish is just far more slippery and has a different sheen to it too. Let me get myself off of there. But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, because that's really, the mil spec is mil spec. Arrow, Rainier Arms, and Mega, which I think makes Rainier, they just build supposedly have a better dyeing process when they manufacture their upper and lowers. That's why you get a better finish. But the finish, man, it's unbelievable on these arrows. And Rainier Arms too. Here's the Rainier now. I did not know Arrow did this until I first learned about those dyes was through this. This is Rainier Arms right here. And now this is the standard no thing for it. And it's actually a little lighter than
uh-huh.
the Arrow. And it's a nice one. This here, I think back in the time was probably $129 back in the day. It was quite a bit. And then I found out, I ordered Arrow, and then boom, I said, wow, they got the same finish. Yeah, really nice finish. But what I had read, it was the dyes that supposedly produces that smoother satin finish like that.
When they forge them, yeah.
Yeah.
And it gives
Mm-hmm.
them a lot less to post finish too when they're done that way.
Okay. So I
Saves them some
didn't.
money.
Mm-hmm. Now I did today. I got it. You do need you can still do the rear, you know, right there, buffer little spring thing at the end, but it is threaded on the
Yep.
Arrow. I am ordering 10.
For the safety detent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice to have it threaded because you're not fighting it when you're assembling.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going on Amazon. I can get 10 of them for $6 and something, 1/8 inch long with threads. So I got to order that because they don't give you one with this. They only give you this one right there for the boat catch. At least I didn't get any in any box I've got. So I'm going to order a pack of 10 of those little threaded roll pins. Well, I guess you wouldn't call them roll pins if they're threaded, but I'm going to get some of those. I can't wait. I want to get that Grendel, and I may buy the Wilson like Hasbro. What did you say that Grendel shoots at 100 yards with that barrel?
0.35 inch groups for 5 shots. That's the
Man,
best I've gotten.
you talking about accuracy? That is
It's
for an AR platform.
Yep, consistently 0.75 or less. It's really hard to shoot over 3/4 of an MOA with my hand loads and stuff in that gun.
Hey, Tasha. Art and Adventure with Tasha is with us. Thank you for dropping by. Warsaw Patriot joined us. Info Bros has joined us. I'm doing pretty good, Warsaw. I had COVID first of the year. I've still got my chest congestion. It's done reared its ugly head again. Kind of been coughing lately and all that, but so far I'm all right. Like I said, I got Echo. He'll probably be here in a little over a month. He's coming here. He's leaving the state of Tennessee. And we'll probably maybe go camping, do some things, go to the range, do some videos and stuff. So you all will be seeing him. He wants to stream. We'll set him up a thing where he can still be on the panel if he wants to. I'll just be here and he'll be in another room. So
yeah,
but,
or in the room
we'll set it up.
Mm-hmm. Does he still have all of his own equipment?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He got that. I was asking about that. He's got a 700-pound safe coming. Whoa. He's going to put that in the garage. I said, okay. Because if you put it on the Berber carpet, it literally just crush it and destroy it.
Yeah, right.
And, that's one of the reasons I hadn't put one in yet. I keep thinking, where am I going to put it? Now, I could put it in the laundry room and just, do floor covering around it. But let's see what Warsaw got saying here. They are in Pennsylvania state. They're proposing a bill that would require every case to be. Yeah.
I just say, well, mine was fired. Sorry, every case I've had was fired.
Yeah, Hollywood, NCIS used to talk about that. Oh, we're going to micro stamp one day. We're going to do that. According to what I've heard, the manufacturing would cost a lot, and they say really it wouldn't always be necessarily accurate. Is what I've read some in the past. I haven't read anything lately that it really won't work. Yeah.
It's just a shortcut to banning ammo.
Yeah,
they make it hard to get and expensive, and a lot of manufacturers stop making it, whatever, and they think they win that way. No one's gonna do it.
I don't think nobody's gonna do. No, I don't think there'll be no serialized cases or any micro stamping. And now, do those up high up there want to deem it? Yeah, absolutely, they want to deem it. That way they can track everything, especially with the new age of AI and computers. But sorry, it's just not going to work. Manufacturers, now the way we're going, it looks like they may try to force them to, but hopefully that won't happen. Got Chad Kelly with us. Got Barbecue Rockstar joined us. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you coming here, Barbecue. Chad says, got to release one of my videos in a few. Get back into the other room and film a little more. Long days. I was wore out yesterday. I went to bed early last night. And had to run around. I went out to Costco today a little bit, raining, got rained on. And my daughter met out there and instead of pizza this time, we did a hot dog. Not bad. Pretty good size hot dogs. But good to see you guys. Dale Pogue is with us. Chad Kelly joined us. Got a good mix here. Appreciate you coming here, guys. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm going to look for me to get a Grendel. The only drawback is that, boy, I wished I could get a refund on the Criterion for the exchange. In some ways, I'd buy the Grendel barrel, but it's kind of too late now. But I will have a new Criterion barrel government model here in the next few months. I just got to drop it off at a FedEx somewhere and get it exchanged. So that's a good barrel. I got a Faxon barrel government profile I'll be using. It's now it's not what is it? I can't even think of drawing a blank on that. Oh, what am I thinking about? It's not chrome lined. Stupid me. It's not chrome lined. It's the Faxon's just, I think it's treated with some kind of
yeah, they nitrate them.
Yeah. Which they say is hard, really hard surface.
Yeah, I got a blackout barrel. It's perfectly good.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned that nitriding and that stuff in the barrels a few years back at a pawn shop. Guy knows quite a bit about guns. The owner does. He didn't know what I was talking about. I said, "Yeah, man, they're doing those barrels now, treating them instead of doing the chrome lining. They're doing different things now." And, see what MSB's got here. He says, "I have my 6.5 Grendel built completely over 2 months. Still haven't made it to the range." Oh wow, that's gonna be fun. I want it for deer and maybe some target practice. I may, who knows? Maybe I'll buy a heavier barrel eventually and another upper and make 2 uppers, one for target and one for deer hunting. But there is a sale, guys. Check it out on Arm and Alley. That's ARM, 2 words, Alley, ALLY. $240. You get the upper and the handguard. The handguard is typically $165 to $200 by itself. So you get both of them, upper receiver from Aero Precision. I seen it today. Got an email about it. Let's see what Chad guys. I got to share this too. I just ordered the action and barrel going 6 cm. Got an Impact 737R with Bartlein. Yeah, I've heard of Bartlein barrels. Apparently, you just can't. It's hard if you really want an accurate barrel. You pay the money for it. Like Hasbro's got the Wilson. That's a good one.
This right here is the hardest thing to find. The next time they come available, I'll do it again. So this is buying bulk from Starline directly. The Grendel brass.
Oh wow!
Right now, that's like gold. But the thing is, like I've said this before, when you get on Starline's site and they say back order it right away, because they'll ship it within a week or two, and you'll get them. But right now, you can't back order it, so it's low supply. But I bought 250 twice, and next time I got to buy more than that because it's just hard to get.
Do you ever make saw it off and convert your brass before?
I had to take this and convert it to 6mm arc because you can't find 6mm arc brass.
Oh wow! 67 Rebel says, "Does a Wilson Combat make accurate 300 blackout barrel?" Good to see you, old one guy.
I can only speak to 3 barrels. I don't have a blackout. My blackout barrel's a Faxon, but my Grendel, my one of my 5.56 223 Wild, and 6mm arc barrels are all Wilson Combat barrels, and they have all been really, really good.
Can you talk a little bit? I gotta go run and get me some water. Drink. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, so I'm looking for ideas. Anybody else want to chime in if you know anything about 9mm AR barrels? I'm just looking for ideas because I got to get something, but I want to make sure it's really top of the line and accurate. So that's what I'm looking for. I thought about looking at, there's some custom barrel manufacturers that will make AR barrels like Excalibur, which is the one I'm doing the 6.5 Grendel on, or excuse me, 6.5 Creedmoor here on. That is an Excalibur barrel, and it's just stupid accurate. And they make AR barrels. They're not cheap, but they make them, but they don't make them in 9mm. So I haven't called them, see if they do something custom. They might, but I don't know. Kind of like to get one from people that know what they're doing, because the feed ramps are kind of special from what I've been reading on a 9mm carbine.
Yeah, Echo. I know Echo's got a lot of them. Hang on, let me put my
Chad,
on.
that's going to be a sweet setup. What action are you going with, Chad?
Sorry, guys. There we go. I know Echo's got a lot of
I'm sorry. You have
parts.
there Impact 737 with Bartman. Yeah, that'll be sweet. 6mm Creedmoors are awesome. They, from what I've been reading, the velocity is really high, so you may not get as many rounds as 6.5 Creedmoor, but they really carry some velocity downrange.
Appreciate it, Chad. Yeah, I definitely want me a Grendel. Boy, I'd love to get it. The issue is going to be that first cry once is the barrel. And if I get it, I want an Aero, probably a S1, 15-inch handguard. And of course, I need a few more arrow uppers. I do have a few. I forget how many now, but and I do have a lower built of arrow with a SL mag. I think it's SL mags buttstock. I think my audio's starting to crack again. I think I got a software glitch here from that update the other day. I was having audio issues before I came on. Couldn't get the computer to recognize. Then when it did, it started crackling a lot. When I hear that, I go, oh no, because I went through that the first few months I started streaming with going through a bunch of audio interfaces. And but good to have you guys here, James. What's he saying? Got 100. Yep. Need to find more. Yeah, I'll have to get some too. Definitely, if I end up building that Grendel.
I'm going to keep an eye on it. So next time they come available, I'm going to snag some, and then because the guy at work's going to want some too, and then if I get a good enough deal, I'll just get a pile, and you get your Grendel going. If you can't find it, I'll set you up.
Okay, appreciate it, man.
I've got a lot because I've been shooting Grendel for so long. I've got some that are 7 or 8 times through, and the Starline brass has been perfect through all that. But the brass that started to fail is the Hornady brass, and it just, you can feel it when you resize it. It's a harder brass, and it's not necks that I anneal every time, so the necks aren't failing. The head cases are failing, and I got a video about that where the head cases were starting to separate. I don't know if I still have. Yeah, I still have one of them here, where I cut it in half, and was
Amazing.
doing some pictures with a microscope, and that video shows that head case was starting to separate, and that's Hornady brass.
You know, that surprised me because you would think Hornady would be the top dog in the brass too. I mean, I know Peterson's good, Lapua's good, Starline's good. I kind of didn't realize that Hornady, either quality slipping or it never was there on the brass then.
Well, of course, they're making it to sell ammo, right? I don't think they really care about the reloader so much.
Probably right, yeah.
Whereas Starline, that's their total business. And others, yeah. Right? Lapua and people like that. I would love to get some Lapua Grendel brass, but it's crazy high. I have Lapua and 308 and 65 Creedmoor, but for what they want for 65 Grendel, because I'm sure they just don't make as much. It's not worth it for me.
I hope, boy, I want to try to get, still going to try to get me a hot tent for my great grandson, get him out camping. If I don't get him now, I took him when he was 6 years old. Now he's 10, and he's excited. He loves fire. I bought him for his birthday. I had shipped him a ferro rod.
Yep.
With orange, I think some orange cord attached to it. Matter of fact, I got to talk with him about that. See if he ever used it. His mother was going to let him get out. And last time I put him a fire kit together when he was 6, he lit a fire on the front porch. And I said, "What were you doing?" You know. But I took the kit back, the whole kit, and I said, "When you get a little older, we'll talk about it. And we'll do it." So I finally did on his 10th birthday. I sent that to him through Amazon. He was happy, excited. I've got a complete fire kit. Got a magnesium rod, not just a ferro rod.
Oh, those are cool.
Fat wood. I make I do dryer lint in a medicine bottle with a charcoal lighter. That makes a good fire starter. I use the little tea candles. You can actually slide those little candles under wood if it's damp, and you can actually dry some of the wood out, the tinder, and end up doing a fire even in the rain if you work at it. And so
my wife and I watch every week. I don't know if you've seen this YouTube channel called The Outdoor Boys. You ever seen that? It's this guy and his family, and he started doing this stuff because he's from Alaska, and so he's always out camping and stuff. They actually live in Virginia, I think now, but he's always back in Alaska because of family. But he takes his little kids with him all the time. But it's outdoor camping. He does wintertime hot tents, and he has the coolest little portable titanium stoves, and just amazing stuff. Looks like a lot of fun.
That's one thing I want to get. I want to get a titanium canteen. I want to get that. I've got the plastic, and I got the thing that slips over the bottom in the military case. I can still use the plastic. I can still boil water if I'm out. But I'd love to have that material. You just can't. It's real light. Plus, you have a big mouth on your canteen on all those metal ones like that. The old plastic military, your mouth's kind of small on it. The opening's not that big. James says he had a Grendel, went from MOA to half. After
Yeah, I believed
forming.
him right till he told me it was a BCA. I'm teasing
Bear
you,
Creek
but man,
Arsenal.
my Bear Creek Arsenal was terrible. And they saw some of the videos and they sent me and said, hey, we'd be happy, send it back to us. We'd be happy to help you. And I was so irritated by that point. It's like, if no, I shouldn't have this bad a quality from something you've inspected and sent to me, and I should have sent it back and whatever, but it was during COVID and I just punted and said, okay, Wilson Combat, here I come.
Yeah, I do cotton. I want to make some, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I actually took that barrel. I had it all camouflaged, stripped everything off of it, and gave it away on the channel. A guy in Wisconsin got it.
Wow. You're a generous man.
Well, I mean, it was like, it shoots perfectly fine, but, I wasn't interested in 2-inch groups, right? And if you're hunting, within reasonable distance, that's fine. It wasn't what I was doing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too interested in it either. I mean, I don't need 100% precision, perfect either, but I do like accurate barrels and accurate guns. But yeah, he mentioned earlier about the dryer lint. Yeah, make sure it's cotton. I want to do, what is it, charcloth. I want to get me a little container and make some of that. Take jean material or whatever and make some charcloth. That's supposedly good. And fatwood you can't beat. You get it free, but I got a bunch of it here I bought here a while back, a few years ago. Good to see you, Hippa. Hippa joined us. Got a good crowd on here. Appreciate each and every one of you guys showing up. I need to get with, hey, Rockstar, if you still listening, are you still streaming live, man? I haven't watched your channel in a while, but I haven't been being on many, I haven't been going into any side chats much lately either. Especially that car. I haven't talked. Did I mention what we think's wrong with my car? I don't think I have.
Flex plate. I thought you said
no flex plate. He's got to get his bore scope. He thinks because it sits so long and it had bad, and I told him the story of when I got it, it was backfiring, had some bad injectors, which I knew it was injectors, that it's got some carbon in it, and that carbon is being slammed against the head with a piston.
Okay. That's not good.
And he can get it out with liquid. There's only two ways to get it out: with liquid, dissolve it, or take the heads off, which either one, hey, I'd rather take the heads off than have the whole motor rebuilt, because we're talking probably 1,200 labor, maybe, hopefully, on the heads versus 2,000 something to pull the motor. So that'll help me anyway. So we're either going to either dissolve it, and I think I even know the cylinder's in number 8. Now, I actually put something in that cylinder, and it wasn't long after that started banging, and it says what it'll do, that carbon will actually hit, and it'll just sound like a rod, not a rod knot, but it'll almost sound like a lifter with a high pitch, bam, bam, bam. Now, it don't do it when the car cranks. It has to warm. It used to have to really warm up, say, to 180 degrees, and then you would hear it. Now, it typically 3 or 4 or 5 minutes later, it comes loose and you hear it. So, and they're loose. So if he can clear this out by one way or the other, the car will be ready here, hopefully in a few weeks. That's good news for me. At least I think I'm pretty sure he's right on it. I think it's carbon. Yeah. And you got to realize injector's bad. Somebody could have drove it before I bought it a little bit, could have sit, who knows, but it's pretty normal for especially tune port injectors that go bad all the time when you let them sit. It's just real common even on YouTube. And, but he thinks it's a loose piece of carbon, and I do too. And the flex plate was okay. Matter of fact, the flex plate had been replaced. And I think why? Because they thought, some mechanic apparently thought it was the flex plate, probably before I bought it, and they put another one in there. So that's kind of a trip, but it don't bother me. It's another one. I think he said it's just don't match the stock one. And I kind of thought the transmission had been taken out on it because there's no leaks in the, the rear motor, front motor. There's no leaks in the transmission front seal or rear seal. And I thought that was a little strange, it being 14,000 miles, 30 years old. So but I think we'll get it going here soon. Mainly, he's waiting for a bore scope snap on to either repair his or get it back. I can't remember what he said about that. He's going to go in there and look at it, and they do have a machine for that. It's called a GTS, ATS. It's actually designed to do that, but they say it will absolutely sound like a rod knocking almost, or something tapping, and what it is being slammed against the head and the valves. Bam, bam, bam. And he wanted to know how much I drove it because this is not normal. This is not common what we're seeing here. And I says I didn't. It was set. It's set for 30 years. I said I bought it. I drove it for 2 weeks. It had no knock. I said then it developed it. And I said I was doing two things when it did. I said I put some cleaner in cylinder 8, a few drops, or about an ounce. I said now this is maybe a few hours. The next, a day before I did that, and then I was flushing the block, and all of a sudden I heard this tat 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 tat, and what it is, the carbon came loose. He believes, and it's floating in the cylinder. You'd think you could just open the spark plug, crank it up, and it just blow it out, but then again, it could be too big. But typically, this car, 350 Chevy, they're bulletproof, man. Even in Corvettes, they just run and run and run. They don't give problems. But when it does get the carbon out one way or the other, I'll have a good motor. So,
Hillbilly just joined us.
Pardon?
Hillbilly just joined us.
Hey, Hillbilly. Good to see you, Hillbilly. Yeah, I was sitting here talking about building. I'm going to try to get a Grendel going. I may go ahead too. It depends. I definitely got the barrels for the 5.56 223. I got a wild SOCOM, and this Criterion actually is a wild chamber. I think. No, wait a minute.
That's all I shoot in my 5.56s.
Yeah, I swear. I think it is a wild chamber.
It does help.
Even though it's chrome lined. But appreciate you coming in, Hillbilly. Good to see you, man. Brutal Bob, no excuses, Hillbilly. I will do like Hillbilly. I try to, sometimes if I don't call you out, I'm highlighting you. Good crowd in here tonight. Appreciate you guys showing up. I didn't have a show planned tonight. We're kind of winging it tonight. Like I said, about 30 days at least. Echo will probably be here, and I'll have the vet out and. I guess me and him will go for a ride and we'll camp and do some things. There's gun range. I told him a long time ago. I said, we got gun ranges about probably 30 minutes from here, a few towns over. You could get there faster if speed limit was a lot more fast, but you got to go through these little small southern towns. And it's not far away. And then we got national forest everywhere and WMAs too. So be plenty to do around here for sure. Anything else besides the carbine you're going to be doing?
Well, I've been working on, I'd like to show it, but I'd get in trouble showing it live. Working on the 6.5 Creedmoor because I bought this Savage Desert Tactical, it's a Savage 110 Desert Tactical 6.5 Creedmoor, and it was awesome. I'm getting some really good results, but for Christmas, my wife says, well, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, well, I kind of like to put a custom barrel in this thing and a custom stock in this thing, make it fit me better and shoot better. Well, by the time you get it, I was like an idiot. By the time you get a barrel and a stock, well, why not buy another action? And you got another gun. So I started bedding it. I got to bed the action and then bed pillar bed it. Because the funny thing is in that 110 action, I think it's really strong when it's held well. But it's not so strong in the back end because you can change that torque and lock the bolt up where the bolt will not go forward. And it's not very much torque. So if it's not fully supported when you tighten it down, to me, that's not a good thing. Never had that with a Remington 700 action. But at the same time, the actions, when it works and everything, is really accurate. So I just got to bed it, get it all tight, and then tighten those screws up, and I shouldn't be able to put it in a bind.
And you can show, if you got a rifle on a bench, you can turn the camera on it.
Well, let me do this.
Yeah, you're fine. We just can't touch it.
I'll turn my camera off and then bring it on screen.
Yeah, just don't handle it or anything. I'll take the chance if they do a strike on me, they just strike me. But I don't think they will showing something on a bench.
Well, I can show the stock too. Touch the stock, but not touch the gun.
So I definitely just got through showing some stuff. Arrow right here, guys. I was showing earlier I got to order 440 little 1/8 inch set screws for the Arrow builds I got coming. I've got Arrow builds, Rainier Arms build, and Anderson builds coming, and then a Grendel build coming, and more. I'll keep the rest quiet for now.
So I'll show you this first.
All right.
This won't get me in trouble.
Yeah, we like to see stuff like that. So I know the chat would love to.
Here we go. So this is the Boyd's at one stock for it.
That's just an empty stock, YouTube. So it's
Yeah,
blank
nothing,
stock.
nothing in it, no action.
Nice.
So
red.
It said it was set up for bull barrels, but this barrel I got is bigger than that, I guess, just a little bit. So I've been having to scrape. I bought some special scrapers to scrape this out to get some clearance here. But now I've got to bed the action, epoxy bed it, and then come back in here, which is where the action screws come in, and then fit in pillars or metal sleeves in here, bed them in, and that way when you tighten the screws up, it pulls right against those sleeves and not trying to bend the stock. So
yeah,
that's what I got to finish up.
That's a nice little stock.
Yeah, it's a good one. There's all kinds of adjustment to it and all this stuff. And I have one on my CZ457, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna try it on the 6.5 Creedman.
And that's a Boyd's stock.
That is.
Nice.
Boyd's that one.
I've heard of them. I just never looked at them up close. James Pollard, I seen that. He's like, I'm a BCA fan. I have two that shoot very close to half. Wow, that's good. Yeah, I'll say you're a tease. Yeah, I do have more built. I just don't want to announce certain things yet. I don't want to do it in stages. I got coming. I've had some things that I don't. Oh God, get my ugly mug off there. There we go. Other builds coming. I'll probably end up doing probably the 5.56. Even though I got a half a lower build in there. I've done. I don't have an upper build I've done.
All right, so now I can show this and not touch it. You can see it there. I got it kind of set. So this is the 110 action, and then the Excalibur barrel. It's real nice and easy to switch these out with the Savage nut system. I did learn a little about these lugs though, because this receiver's got a little notch, so you don't have to worry about aligning this lug. But the one that came with the factory did not, and one of the replacements I got did not. So you'd have to try to time it, which is a pain in the butt. So I got another one. But the Savage AccuTrigger, kind of see it down here, it's been actually really good. A lot of people give it a lot of grief, but it's been really good. I've got it dialed down to just under 2 pound trigger pull, and I've got a custom trigger to put into it. But right now it was so good, I don't know.
I've shot the Savage AccuTrigger. Like you're saying, a little over 2 pounds or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were back in the day when they come out with that. Every manufacturer wanted to follow, because basically back even in 05 to early 2000s, Remington guns out of the factory, you literally couldn't hardly pull the trigger.
Yeah,
they were so tough and heavy.
On my 308, I put a jewel trigger into it, and it is amazing. I wish I could get one for this, but you can't. But I have another trigger. I'll grab it here in a second. Let me turn this off. I'll grab that trigger.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to eventually, with the Grendel or the other build I got coming, that I'm on in time do, which could be another year or two, who knows. But the 223 556 build's coming. The Grendel will probably be the second build complete. I'd love to go hog hunting with the Grendel or the other caliber.
That's the primary plan for my Grendel now. I've got a friend down in Texas that has a ranch, and they're overrun with them, so I just got to get down there.
Oh, you're going to have a blast, man.
So here is the trigger to go into it. The Rifle Basics. It's hard to find custom triggers for Savages. Well, this one is, and this will go down to 4 ounces, they say.
Wow.
So I'll put this in there and try it. It's a bit involved putting the trigger in, but not too bad. They call it a drop in. It's really not quite a drop in, but that's what's going to go in that gun.
Yeah, I am, James. I definitely, I've been wanting that Grendel for a long time. I want something a little more than that, 5.56. And it just, like I say, I could go deer hunting with it, and I will if I have to, but I'd love to have the Grendel out there.
AR, do you have a trigger for your Grendel yet?
No, not yet.
Let me show you.
Not yet. I was going to buy
I'm highly biased, very highly biased. So much so, I have 8 of them now.
I've heard of those. I already know what that is.
The LaRue MBT. You know this one because you've seen it on my channel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're like $85-$90 now.
Wow.
2-stage, 2.5 pound first pull, 2 pound second pull.
Wow.
So you can certainly have the 4 pounds if you just pull it straight back for like hunting, whatever, or you can target shoot at 2 pounds.
Wow. No creep or nothing, just
no, it's
similar to Geisley.
Clean. Really, really clean. I've shot Geisley, and to me, the different models Geisley I've shot, I like this better. And for $90, I'll buy this every time.
Nice. I know I've seen Uncle Jim. He got a PSA, a nickel boron, I think, for one time $60-$70. On DSG arms, you can get a 2-stage. The finish, they say, is not as good, but it works great. A 2-stage right now for $69, similar to the Geisley. And PSA has one that's nickel boron 2-stage too. That was the one I was going to get originally, the PSA, when it was on sale. I haven't got it yet. Or I was going to. Then I ran into the DSG arms the other day, and I says, $69. That's pretty reasonable for a 2-stage, and the reviews were pretty good on it too. But that one he's got, LaRue, I've heard good things about it. And even Uncle Jim had good luck with that Palmetto State nickel boron. So I like the 2-stage. I think they're just good. I like that, being able to pull it and then have that little wall crack.
And it's so clean to that wall. I mean, it's not a doubt where it is, and then it breaks really clean. So that's part of why I've been able to shoot some really tight groups too, because like anything, the barrel's a huge part. The trigger is just as big. So.
Now, have you shot Geisley before? They're enhanced and all their other triggers?
I have.
So how do you compare the LaRue?
I would say, I forget the model of Geisley. Geisley has ones almost the same, pull weights and 2-stage, and I couldn't tell a difference. The only thing I can tell the difference is that was a $320 trigger, and this was $90. So.
GGW says I've heard of the ALG. His wife did that one. Yeah. I heard that's the mil spec ALG version is. Yeah. Supposedly it's a little more tuned. I just don't like the stock. I don't like the mil spec triggers. I never have. So I'm going to eventually either put a nickel boron in or the LaRue like that, 2-stage. In mine, the one I have.
There are some out there. Oh, what's the name of the company? But they put them out like 3.5 pound single pulls, and those are fine. It's just some matches you can't shoot them in. Some NRA matches and stuff, you have to have a 4.5 pound pull trigger, and that's why the 2-stages are done that way, because it's a total of 4.5. So they're still legal.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I may get that LaRue or that DSG or either Palmetto State. I can definitely.
It's worth trying those others. It's just, man, I got hooked on this thing really bad.
Yeah, I've heard good things about LaRue on that trigger. Well, quite a while back, I ran into them. I started watching them. Never heard a bad thing said about them. And Uncle Jim had good luck with that, Palmetto State nickel boron. Now you got other companies, coming up with it. Like I said, the finishes, they say it's not quite as refined, but actually they say it's very close to Geisley. And for $70, you can't beat that. There he is, Uncle Jim too. Hey, dude, let's just talk about you, man.
Yeah, Brutal Bob says he's beat me. He got a couple dozen of those LaRue triggers. So good. I don't feel as bad now. Thanks.
Oh, I didn't know that. Hang on, we'll call some new guys out. Hang on a minute. Yeah, GGW Outdoors Highboy got sent up. Oh wow, big. You're kidding me. You got in trouble for a live stream talking about casting? Huh. I didn't know that YouTube was they're starting to target the streamers now. Viejo, wow. That's crazy. when it gets where you can't speak of something, I know it's their house. I'm not going to argue that it's not. But when it gets where you can't speak of something, that's just ridiculous. James says, I have a JP spring kit, but need to use federal primers with a 3.5 pound trigger. Yeah, I've heard JP spring kits. Mm-hmm. Uncle Jim says, those are good triggers. I like the 2-stage. Yeah, I remember you saying that, Uncle Jim. You have the PSA 2-stage. DSG Arms has one right now, a boron. Looks nickel boron for $69, 2-stage. And reviews say it's very close to Geisley the way it feels. I think one person said it had a little bit of a creep or something. I can't remember now. Pretty much side by side, they're really good. They're coming out with good 2-stage triggers now that's affordable, and that's what I like. I want to take my mil-spec out and junk it. Put it in a bag and seal it up and store it. Uncle Jim says no spring kit for that reason.
I only have one mil-spec trigger that I actually like, and that's in my M1903 Springfield.
Scroll back up here.
Somebody's polished a little bit on it, but that's it. And it's a good trigger.
So we've got some new people jumping here. Casey Dolph joined us. Good to see you, Casey. Appreciate you dropping in here. Viejo, of course, is here. GGW, Jane Hasbro over here. Who else? Uncle Jim joined us too. Good to see you, Uncle Jim. And I was thinking of Critter earlier. He's got a different, looks like it's different now, his thumbnail. But I was wondering, I said, I was thinking, I hadn't seen Critter in a long time. Appreciate you dropping in, Critter. Losing my voice again. Hang on a minute, guys. I went and bought my 360, used to be 400, generic Claritin today. I take it night, typically in the evening for a stream. Most of the time it does seem to help. Uncle Jim talking about I like SSA enhanced. Yeah, I'm familiar with that, but on the cheap.
Yeah, those are good triggers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, Jane, yep. Okay.
But they're kind of like Geisley, right? You really pay for them, but they're good.
Hey, Info Bros, how you doing, man? Appreciate you dropping in, guys. Make sure I ain't missed anyone. Scroll up here a second. Yeah, I almost pulled the trigger on that DSG Arms 2-stage the past few days. I think regular, I don't remember, something like it's $80 or $90. Average 69 is not a bad price. But I've also been looking at the reaction rods, and I've told Echo about that reaction rod here a while back, a year or so ago, and he hadn't heard of it. And they really got that sail on top of it. So it basically goes in there where the charging handle is, so you don't break the pin off or break your upper receiver. And that does happen, they say. So it's kind of a good invention the way they did it. It's like a plastic, almost like Delron. Maybe 4 or 5 inches long with bolts running down to the reaction rod. Like I said, the School of American Rifleman, that's his favorite, according to what I read. I think I watched him the other day and he was talking about it, reviewing all the rods that he had. And I'm not going to buy a Geisley. My goodness, them things are $200. They're top of the line. And a Geisley, you can still snap a button off on a barrel or break the upper at the thread area. But I got to check that. I want to hear about that. What happened to you? Doing a stream talking about casting and then end up getting a strike or something. That's, gosh, what are we coming to out there?
That's Viejo. He's just a treble magnet anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he I think he's the number one person that goes to jail a lot lately.
Well, you can be sure they're using AI on this against us, scanning all this stuff automatically, trapping us in everything we do.
I tell you, AI is something I'm not looking forward to. I am not. No, it's already bad enough just with software and algorithms. When it gets to that.
You know, when I, many years ago, I told you, AR, in the back chat, I worked for Apple. And out in Silicon Valley, everybody was just in love with technology. That was all they could do. That was their new God, right? Worshiping the latest technology. And it's still that way for a lot of people. They're just in awe of all the stuff we can do, and they don't think far enough ahead to see what's going to happen. And that's one thing. AI will be used against people. It already is, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, and I use very high technology every day in my work and engineering work I do. And AI will replace a lot of engineering. It'll replace a lot of jobs. And then
Yeah.
what are people going to do?
I've been even reading that it says that in the future, uh, we will not even be able to tell truth from reality, what's real and what's not real. If we're going down that road, I mean, it's out of a science fiction movie. That's a horror show, in my opinion. But it needs to be, apparently, what I'm sensing, there are going to be some strong regulations on it. Now, I believe in government regulation? No, I don't. But unfortunately, I think that's going to have to be done. Got John Louis, our era, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Appreciate you dropping in here. Hippo's with us, Hillbilly. Who else? Uncle Jim, too. Appreciate you coming here, John Louis. I'll just say John Louis. I can definitely pronounce that. Listen to what Bob says. Keep talking, AR, keep talking. I've loaded 6,000 rounds since you started. I'm running 2 of my Apex 10s. Wow. That's a trip. That's nice machines. I've never used one. I've never seen one in person, but I've seen them on YouTube. Yeah, he says we can always turn our electronics off. Yep. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. AI, we won't be able to. Stores will start being robots. Dictators use it to sway public opinion. I mean, it's just going to get bizarre, the future will, with AI. It's going to do a lot of damage. It won't be a society, I don't think that I believe we're going to be walking off a cliff, is what we're going to be doing. Because when you don't know what's real and what's not, or truth, that's not a good place to be.
And well, the problem is almost all big businesses are rushing for it as a competitive edge because they're afraid, one, they want to be more competitive, but two, they're afraid they'll be left behind. And so the brakes are not really, going to happen on that technology. And one of the big companies, I saw him testifying for Congress, and he says he wants federal regulation. Like that will solve anything. That'll just give the AI tools to the crooks.
Yeah. Hillbilly says, can I use AI to destroy a hard seltzer?
Yeah, go for it.
When you got people like Musk and all these upper, people that send billionaires in these high tech worried about the danger of it, I think they're right to worry. I don't think they're hyperbole. I think it's real worry. Like he said, jobs lost, reality lost, truth and what's real and what's not real. Bad players in the world using it. Imagine, North Korea, China using it to turn us against. Who knows what they could use it for? Turn us against our own government deliberately. I'm not saying that we're not already, but you know what I mean. I mean, at least we still have some control over our government, who we elect for the most part. But I'll get out of that arena. Good to see you, Chad. GGW still with us. Viejo, Uncle Jim. Yeah, he's the one I think I first seen the generic Palmetto State nickel boron trigger he bought here a couple years back. I remember that, Uncle Jim. I know you did a video on it, I think, if I recall. And you got it on sale. I actually went and looked at it after I seen your video. But yeah, I can't wait to get some. Like I said, I'm gonna get the AR block, which is probably gonna be the Real Avid. I just like that block. It's just I like the Delta. It does a lot of things too. I like the Plastics Evolution things for the vise. I think that's a good unit to work with. It's got those flex plates, torque plates to keep it from twisting. For stubborn barrels, I think that's a good product. The reaction rod that they say that Midwest is getting into more and more stuff past year or two, and they are. And but so far, I like Real Avid in some things. Now, I don't know their punches, all that, and I know their price is kind of high on their punches and things. I like their AR cleaners. I was actually watching one of them today. It seemed to do a pretty good job. I got to get a good AR cleaner. I was wanting a bone nut too by Otis, But now I'm thinking I may go with a Real Avid for cleaning the carbon off bolts and stuff.
Oh
I've
yeah,
got,
let me find mine. I'll show
boy,
you what I bought.
okay. Yeah, let's show some stuff. Timothy Burkett joined us. Critter still with us. Dale Pogue, Hasbro, Uncle Jim, GGW, Hillbilly, Brutal Bob. Thank you, guys. Uncle Jim says FBI whistleblower set it straight today. Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah. That's what our founders knew, corruption and power. You give somebody power, what do we do with it? Most men, we abuse it. So most man does, I should say. So anyway, I won't say more. Yeah, this is a nice block. When I first got it, it was hollow like that, and I says, "This thing really good." But yeah, it is. I'll show some other stuff too, like Hasbro eventually. I built my little AR2 kit, and I put it in. My granddaughter bought me this with a star. Reminds me of my friend's Jeep. He was a captain in the U.S. Army. He's got this Jeep painted on his. He bought a used black Jeep here a while back. He's down at Daytona Beach now. He's got a place right there on the beach, and he owns it. He's got a horse farm here close by. Actually, where I used to live at in 1986 here in the county. I told him on the same road. I said, "This used to be a dead end road, and here you got a horse farm on almost the same property, right down the street from me." Well, anyway, I put this kit together past few days. Everything I need in here, punches. I bought Walmart punches, which I showed. 5-year warranty. I bought Starrett flat punches. I bought Grace roll pin punches, which I've had those for a long time and used them.
Here,
well, Hasbro.
Here's the thing I use for cleaning my bolt. Okay, it's from Cat Outdoors.
Okay.
And actually, I got this recommended from Hickok 45. In fact, he did a special thing on it.
I've heard of that.
The tool, pretty simple. It's got some things for cleaning, like carbon off the bolt, etc. For cleaning your firing pin, just different things for scraping out the inside of the bolt. That's the stuff they show you. I don't have a bolt here handy, or I'd do it, but they kind of show you here some of the stuff it does. And like you pull a bolt out of the body, and you can clean back in there where your gas rings are and all that stuff. Scrape it all out, and clean the end of the bolt off here where your rings are, and etc. And it's just really a simple tool, and I've used this for a lot of years now.
I forgot about that tool, but I have seen that a long time ago.
It's expensive. I think I don't know, $25 or something. But it's been really, really good.
They got that one. Real Avid's got several. One kind of portable for your hand, almost like a pocket knife. And then they got another one that's larger. And then you got Otis. They got a bone tool called Bone Nut. I think it's called. Yeah, I was watching a guy today using the Real Avid on YouTube this evening. I was sitting in the living room, and he was using the little one that looks like a pocket knife, Real Avid, and he was showing how it cleaned his boat, scraped the carbon off, and it worked good. James says, I have a dirty boat to try that on. Yeah, you do need a few basic tools to really keep those boat carrier group clean.
I really only pull it out and clean it probably every 200 rounds sometimes. Some people go a lot farther than that. But I'm cleaning my barrel. When I clean my barrel at 200, then I clean everything.
Jim says, careful on the scraping. A few Smiths have talked about it. Let's see. Starrett is about, yeah.
That tool I showed, you can't damage the bolt. Its clearances are so tight. When you scrape, it won't let you get in hard enough to damage the bolt. It's really amazing how it looks so simple, but the tolerances they hold are really good.
On that one you got, that Cat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never been able to damage anything with it.
I might look that up. I might get that one. Because I hadn't decided which one I want yet on that one. I got brushes over here, a bunch of other stuff, but I don't have a specific tool for the boat carrier.
There's still use. I use that in a pipe cleaner, and I'm done with the bolt. That's it. Pipe cleaner down the gas tube and all that stuff. And
you still do the pipe cleaner?
Yep, still do.
Yeah, I got some in my cart now. Pipe cleaners.
There's some places you can't get into in an AR in the gas system without them.
Mm-hmm.
You can spray solvent all you want, and all you might do is pile it up in one end of your bowl or your tube. So pipe cleaner is good.
Chad says, I just got the plate into my mount on my new Real Avid vise. Which one you have, Chad? Do you have that square AR block or what? Or you have the AR Real Avid vise? They got a vise too. I seen that today. I didn't realize they did, but they do have one for a bench. They got that big kit too, but I'm not going to pay. I don't want that. I've already got a 1/2-inch torque wrench, Craftsman, back when they made them in the USA. I got that. I've got ball peen hammer. I've got the gunsmith hammer from Brownells. I got a what else have I got? Let me hang on. I'll show you. Now,
I need to read the news, Uncle Jim. I haven't seen the latest on the whistleblower from today.
I haven't been watching much news.
I know they went after him. One of them's disappeared. They haven't found him yet, and the Justice Department doesn't care. They're not looking for him.
I have the right here by Little Crow Gun Works, a long roll pin starter and punch set for like $20 from Little Crow Gun Works, which I showed here the last stream. Here I've got, I forget, Grace hammer. It's brass on one end and got that Delron replaceable tip. This is brand new, good hammer. I bought that from Brownells here a few years ago. But then I couldn't resist it. I bought the, where is it at? Let me see. Oh, here it is. I bought this because Brownells, sorry about the noise, guys. Brownells actually sells both, the brass and the tips. So I bought a Brownells specific gunsmith hammer to use because I know I can replace them. Now the Grace has only one tip. Now when it gets smashed up, it's just smashed up, if you use it for several years. But when I look back, I probably shouldn't have bought that, but hey, it's always good to have a little hammer. So I got that, Walmart that, and here's Grace. I showed a little Grace set, the roll pin punch set. They're pretty good quality. And then I got the, now this is a cry once, buy once, cry once to me. I think this Stare It flat punch set, boy, it's nice. This joker costs about $40-50 with all the punches in it. But boy, the punches are fancy. I mean, they're engraved, not engraved, but what would you call it? Can't think of the word now, but anyway, very good quality work. Knurled. Good grip, but nice. So what did I do? I didn't want to always damage my this is Stare It, sorry. So I bought 5 punch set at Walmart for $8 with a 5-year warranty. And if I need something just to beat the crap out of it, I'll use it. And I may end up buying a Pacific gas block Geisley 2 punch set. I don't know yet. I've got punches that'll do the same thing. So I probably don't need it right away. I got a couple of O-ring picks that's got on each end for like $5 at Walmart. It's got a little tiny hook on one end, another type of hook on another end. It's like a 2-piece set. Here, I'll show it to you. Instead of like your automotive, it's all in one on 2 handles. It's got a handle, black, and on the ends of pick, and it's about 8 inches long, 9 inches, right there. And it's really fine. One's a point, boys. It looks like an ice pick on one end. Then on one end it's 90 degrees. Then I got another one. So, but I've got the what else have I got? I've got the Magpul wrench, AR Armors wrench. I bought that. I think it was on sale a few years back. The only thing I really need is that I need that Midwest rod, and I need that plastic Evolution, and I want the Real Avid vice block square one. I get that, heck yeah, I'm rocking. And set screws I'm gonna order for the Arrow. But anyway, it's getting to 10:30. It's an hour and a half. We're gonna wind this show down. I hate to wind it down. It's got so many on. Appreciate you guys being here, man. It means a lot to us people that take time to do these streams. It really does. Appreciate each and every one of you on here. Let me go up and call the chat out right quick, Hasbro, then we'll sign off, talk, plug a little bit, whatever you want to do. I don't really want to run a 2 hour.
Yeah, that's good.
Alaska One Andy joined us. Hasbro over here. Appreciate you being here, Hasbro. Brutal Bob's with us. MSB 9021's joined us. Dale Pogue, GGW Outdoors. Michael Hurtnick's with us. Good to see you guys. Alaska Brutal Bob is with us. Lauren Davis, which is your daughter's with us. Thank you. MCK Mock is with us. GGW, who else here? Bubbo joined us. Bernie joined us. Sanchez joined us early. MSB 9021. Andre D'Angelo's with us. Good to see you, Andre. Viejo's with us. MCK, Michael Hurtnick, Bernie. Hang on. Bear with me a minute. I always hate missing people. 67 Rebel SST AMC has joined us. Bob Hippa's joined us. Good to see you, Hippa. Art and Adventure with Tasha joined us earlier. She's still listening. Appreciate you coming in here, Tasha. Warsaw Patriot joined us early. Info Bros joined us. Thank you, guys. Barbecue Rockstar. Good to see him. I'm going to get him on the panel here down here shortly, maybe. Might plan one, get him on here. He can talk barbecue and I'll talk guns. What you can't beat both. Chad Kelly joined us. Dale Pogue. MSB. Oh, one guy, James Pollard joined us. Good to see you, James. All of you. Who else here? Hillbilly Up joined us. Can't forget Hillbilly Up. Hillbilly. I still. Hillbilly. Yeah, forget it. I sound stupid.
He's got it down, that's for sure.
Yeah, he got it down. I can go yeehaw. I'm pretty good at that because where I used to work at, they'd listen to sometimes rap music, and I didn't like it. And I'd walk to the lab and I'd go yeehaw, and they'd look at me like I was some kind of redneck. And I'd do it. I go yeehaw, and James Pollard, Hillbilly Up, Gigi Debbie James. Let's see who else here. Uncle Jim too joined us. Casey Dolph joined us. Appreciate you guys being here. Critter joined us. John Louie joined us. Thank you, John, if you're still listening. Appreciate you being here. Who else here? Info. I think I about got most of you. Chad Kelly, I called. Hillbilly, who else? Timothy Burkett. I remember him coming in there now. Good to see you if you're still listening. Appreciate you coming here, man. I'm going to watch a little TV after I get off here and relax and maybe order that block. I've been looking at it for several days now. Mark Thomas joined us. Good to see you, Mark. Who else here? JH586. Sorry, we've got to run their mouth. Jamie, you know how it is. Get to talking on you, boob tube here. Good to see you, Jamie. Thank you for coming here, man. Who else is here? Alaska One Andy. Dale Pogue, I called. That's it. Thank each and every one of you for being here. It means a lot to us. It's funny. Sometimes you can wing a show and it turns out okay. Then sometimes you plan a show and it turns out like crap. Or you don't have nothing really interesting to talk about sometimes. Topics always, to me, is better when you got things specific to talk about, especially guns and reloading. Because I like listening to the same stuff. If I get busy, I'll turn this on and wander around the room in here, even during the day, if somebody's streaming. Got anything you want to plug? I'll let you do we're going to go ahead and sign off and wrap this show up here, Hasbro.
All right.
Get out of here early.
Well, for me, we mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'll be working on a pistol caliber carbine with an Aero Precision set and take a little different twist on it and try to make a precision rifle out of it. We'll see if that's possible. I just don't know. 9mm that far, we're going to figure out and find out what we can do. Maybe even get into. I can't say what I do. I do what Viejo does, and I might get in some custom profiles of those, and see what I can do with the 9mm a little bit. So we're doing that. Our guest stunt double is going to be appearing on the show here for too long, doing different setups on the range. At the end of each range session, he's going to go flying through the air in one way or another. So we're going to have a little fun with him and the classic Mr. Bill thing. If you don't know Mr. Bill, Search Saturday Night Live and Mr. Bill, and you will laugh your butts off on what they do to him at the end of each show. And one of the most comical things they do, they have a little toy car and they tie it behind a real car and they take him down the street at like 50 miles an hour. That's kind of how they end a lot of the skits, you know.
They did some good stuff over the years.
Have some fun with him, and I get some other things. We'll do that kind of stuff just to have some fun. It's in the end of these rain sessions, and just to change things up a little bit. But that's it for me. It won't be on much in the next few weeks and making videos. It'll take me another probably 2.5 weeks before I really get back in the swing because there's some stuff that's going on. So, but been good to be on with you tonight. Great side chat as well. Appreciate you all.
Absolutely. Good to see you guys tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Hasbro, man, for helping me out on here. It means a lot to me. To me, it's just, I guess, because I'm so used to having somebody with me that for some reason I'm more comfortable that way.
Well, it's my pleasure. Anytime I can help, I will.
Appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it a lot. What's Chad got to say here before we get out of here, guys? Thanks for another fun one. Got my new target video. We'll check out Chad's channel. Check out everybody's.
Yeah, Chad's got some funny
stuff.
Out
Jamie's, Georgia, everybody. I'm not going to really plug. I called you out too and called you. I'm not going to do the channels because it's getting kind of late now. Guys, I enjoyed this chat. You all take care and God bless.
Night all.
Night all.